Hey there, everybody. Olive and I are going on another little adventure today. Sorry, we're on the we're on the rugged roads right now. Olive is excited to be going somewhere. Ooh. Didn't know what to do with myself today. I've been trying to do a lot of video editing, but I can only sit inside the, sweat and edit video for so long before I have to escape. So that's what we're doing. We're headed back up to the Red Butte, and I made a video about the Red Butte, hiking the Red Butte, and I probably will release that before I release this, but you never know. Yeah, Red Butte. It's up by the Grand Canyon. It's very close to the Grand Canyon, and we hiked it, which was a bit challenging, but beautiful, totally worth it. And now we're going to explore around it. There's a lot of history over there since it's right by the Grand Canyon. You know, the Grand Canyon is the most visited attraction in Arizona, and probably one of the biggest attractions in all of the United States. So yeah, there's a lot of history around there. And we're going specifically to go find an abandoned airport. Our friend Jason told us about it. He did a little looking around online and found that, yeah, there's a Red Butte Airport, or Old Grand Canyon Airport. Because of the history of the place, I did a little research of my own, and yes, that place did operate for, I think, close to 40 years, and some very famous people are rumored to have been there. I actually saw a picture of one of those people there, so I know at least one of those famous people have been there for sure, or they were there many years ago before it closed down. So yeah, we're gonna head up there, and we're also gonna look around and see if we can maybe find some camping as well. We'll see. And oh, hold on, let me show you something. We get a lot of these dust devils, dust devils. These things can be pretty destructive, actually, and they can be really big. So this one, can't really tell just how big it is, but we've had it looks like things are flying around in the air. They're like little tornadoes, and sometimes they're not even that little. That one's actually kind of, wow, it's picking up a lot of debris, and it's moving pretty fast. Just thought I'd share that with you. We had two big ones rip through our camp, and I don't think one did any real damage. The other one really actually, we were right there when it all happened, and our friends were riding up on their bikes, and there's a huge dust devil ripping through camp, and it blew blew apart part of some of Aj's outdoor furniture. And anyway, so we're on an adventure. We're not going to let some dust devils stop us. It's a hot one here in northern Arizona today. It's going to say it's steamy, but no, not really. That's back home. Here it's more like a convection oven, so it's hot, dry, and windy. And oh my goodness, that was gross. Olive just blew her nose into the wind, and it landed on my fish. Wow, there's another dust devil coming through. Wow. It's just like one after another on certain days. And today is a bit windy, so it makes sense. So we're having fun just exploring these back forest roads, and got a really nice view of the Red Butte from here. Sorry, turned down my air conditioning. It's warm. Sometimes I wonder why these little roads exist, because there's nothing back here. On this particular road, there hasn't been a single campsite. Nothing. I haven't seen anything like cattle related. So I don't know. Maybe it exists for the ranchers to come find their cattle. Oh, here we go. Oh. They're probably digging a new tank for the cattle. Who knows? But there's a tractor back here. Nobody around though, just a tractor. We're almost to the road we want to be on. Just a little further. And I think we're within a mile of the airport, I believe. But I've been wrong before. So. But this road is in good condition. I can do, I'm almost doing 30. Woohoo. Yep, this is the fork where we're supposed to go right. And there is a gate here, but let's see. What does it say? Please close the gate. Okay, so you can pass through this gate. It's the little sign is a national forest sign, and there's no lock. So they just want you to close the gate because there are most likely cattle back here. Certainly looks like there is. Just make sure to close the gate when you get through. Don't need to be letting any livestock out. Okay, just a short ways down this road, I can already see one of the big buildings from the airport. See it there on the left side of the road. Yeah, and this is where the airport was. Looks like there's some horses out there. Not sure if those are wild or they belong to somebody. I see some squirrels. There are signs on these buildings that say private property, and that's what I found online too. That's what people said. Everyone says that you're allowed to come back here. You're just not supposed to be going into these buildings. The buildings are open though. I am assuming some of these are being used by the ranchers in the area. There are still quite a few, like I guess you'd call them outbuildings here. I think that this is being used by the ranchers. Yeah, sure looks like it. We don't want to poke around too much. Seems like it's probably a more modern building. Yeah, that's all cattle feed or horse feed bags. But it did have electricity at one time. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna go in these buildings. Just taking a look. Not being used right now. Look at all the gunshot wounds. all the gunshots. That's interesting. Yeah, it's a windy day. Everything's creaking. Can you see the wild horses? Well, again, I'm not sure if they're wild or if they actually belong to ranchers. They might just be being pastured here, but there are lots of wild horses, from what I understand, in this area. So it's possible that they're wild. But there's actually, those look like cows. And then way in the distance, they're going further away from us. Those are the wild horses, I believe, or they're at least horses. They might not be wild. And that, in the distance, that's the San Francisco peaks over by Flagstaff, the really tall mountains. And yeah, it says Grand Canyon Airlines. Above it, it says, looks like it says Union something. But I guess that was the main building. We'll go and check that out a little bit. And I did see out this way, like there might be some structures, like some old houses. So we'll go take a look down there too. Now here's a view from the distance. That's the one of the main buildings from the airport, or the main building still standing. And then just beyond it is the Red Butte. You can see why they put it here. They would have used the Red Butte as a landmark for people flying in, that it would have been just due north of the Red Butte, which, from here there are other mountains, but from other angles, this is the only mountain in this whole area. Those are at least 50 miles away, probably more like 60, 70, I don't know. So yeah, they put it next to the Red Butte because it's the only thing you can see from a distance around here. All right, well, I didn't see anything online about the history of these buildings. I'm not going to go in there. That looks like it was a kitchen right there. I'm not going to go in because I'm concerned about the structure. And they don't want you in here, so I'll respect that. But, yeah, there's a bathroom. Looks like somebody intentionally kicked the wall in. Danger hantavirus. Oh, okay. Well, one more reason not to go in. Well, there's definitely mold in there. Another bathroom. Looks like these small suites. Oh, there's a light bulb still intact. The walls aren't, but the light bulb is. And a little porch. Look at that old fireplace. Smile, you're on camera. Yes, you are. No, I am. No. Oh, another kitchen. Wonder if it just was like I don't know if you call it a duplex or what, but some broken glass. No one's going up those stairs anytime soon. And there's two doors. It's almost like, yeah, this was a duplex. Oh, a little birdie just flew out of there. Yeah, probably a very nice place. Maybe 80 years ago. I don't know. So definitely two separate residences or cabins, not sure, but they're adjoined. So it's like a duplex. And then over here, just across the way, looks like maybe a root cellar, or not sure if they would have any reason to do a storm cellar here. And then another structure once stood here. Another fireplace. And ooh, echo. I'm assuming that was the water source. Yeah, that's deep, whatever. And I don't know. Okay. Yep, the rest of the building is gone. Well, there's a pipe there. And this looks kind of creepy, doesn't it? Okay. There's a no trespassing sign inside, but there's not one on the door. Let's just take a little look. Yeah. Can you see they used timber and then just created what they call now a green roof. Covered it in dirt and let the green stuff grow on top. Good way to insulate it for sure. And then there's a bit more back here. I'm not sure what that is. Again, this looks a little more modern. The hoses and the PVC pipe. So this is probably a more modern well here. But it doesn't look like it's being utilized. Grand Canyon Airlines. And then above it, it says Scenic Airways. We're not gonna go in. It's windy, and if nothing else, I'm afraid a piece of metal is gonna come flying down on us. Whoa. That made me jump. Sorry, birds. Yeah, they, well, some of them escaped out this. That one came right at me. You know, it's really, there's nothing, nothing so far really gives me reason to be, you know, frightened of this place, but it's just the whole kind of vibe of abandoned places, you know. They're always just a little bit spooky. There's an old workbench there. There's water down there. That is deep. I don't want to get caught in a well. Oh, wow, I don't know. I guess I just don't really have a good idea of what an airport in the 1920s, what all they did there, you know? Like, they'd use all this stuff for. Yeah, this part definitely came crumbling down. Ooh. Some old electrical laying on the ground there. Pretty cool, neat place. Definitely worth coming out here if you're headed to the Grand Canyon and you're into abandoned places, history. Wow, those are some big old doors. And then there's one more building, a little bird on top of it. Keep scaring the birds away. Yeah. The sheetrock. There's lots of gun holes, gunshot holes. Why do people have to shoot everything? Oh my. It's history, people. Don't shoot history. In 1927, former World War I Army flyer, entrepreneur, and promoter Parker Van Zandt created a runway across a northern Arizona meadow at a place called Red Butte. He built a hangar and launched the first commercial air tours over the nearby Grand Canyon. His Scenic Airways was bankrolled by some of the biggest names in American business, such as Henry Ford. Scenic Airways flew its first paying sightseers over the Grand Canyon in April 1928. In addition to the large hangar at Red Butte, 4 cottages and a great house were built. Grand Canyon Red Butte Airport had a very famous visitor in April 1928, as documented by a photo of Charles Lindbergh in front of Scenic Airways hangar at Red Butte. The Standard Oil Company's 1929 Airplane Landing Fields of the Pacific West described the Grand Canyon Airport as being operated by Scenic Airways. The airfield was said to measure 9,250 feet by 3,700 feet with a sandy loam surface and an entire field available for landing. The onset of the Great Depression spelled the end of the overextended Scenic Airways. By 1930, Scenic's assets included the Red Butte Airport, its maintenance hangar, along with 17 aircraft had been sold off. A group headed by Jack Thornburg bought the Grand Canyon operation and reopened the Red Butte Airport for the 1931 summer season. From the 1931 onward, except for World War II when pleasure flying was suspended, the aerial tour service was operated from the South Rim under several names. In the mid-1930s, the airline enjoyed a symbiotic relationship with Transcontinental and Western Air, with side trips to the canyon from TWA stops at Winslow, Arizona, to the Red Butte Field via Ford Tri-Motor. Things hummed along until World War II. Some sources indicate that the military flights flew out of the Red Butte Airport from 1942 to 1945. However, the field may have been closed at some points during the war. It eventually reopened at some point between 1945 and 1949, as Grand Canyon Airport was depicted on the 1949 Prescott sectional chart. In 1951, civil aviation began again at Red Butte with Hudkins Brothers. By the time of January 1966, USAF Operational Navigation Chart, the original Red Butte Grand Canyon Airport had been closed, after it was replaced by the new Grand Canyon Park Airport built 13 miles to the northwest in Tucson, Arizona. All the structures at Red Butte Airport, the hangar, 4 cottages, and the great house either burned down or were taken down by the 1970s. The airfield was not depicted at all on the 1970 USGS topo map. As of 2005, it was reported that the entire airport property, 850 acres, was owned by the U.S. Forest Service, which leased the property to ranchers. Until 2005, the historic site was used for cattle, horses, and other ranching commerce, resulting in considerable neglect and vandalism to the site. Toxic waste accumulated and buildings either burned or were torn down. Souvenir hunters removed artifacts left unguarded. And out there behind me would have been runways. I think at least one. They'd have to have at least one runway, right? No more. So we're just gonna keep exploring a bit and see if maybe we can find our way around the Red Butte, like drive. I think there's a road that kind of makes a loop around it, or a combination of a few roads, and see what kind of interesting camping we might find, and yeah, just do a little more exploring. Why not? It's a beautiful day. Well, came upon a big tank, but they don't want you drinking that water. And now we can see the airport way in the distance there. We're on a different side of the airport. If you didn't know it was an airport, an abandoned airport, I would think that maybe that's just an old barn back there. Yeah, there's lots of little roads like this. Maybe we'll... Oh, jeez. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look down here. It's more forested than a lot of the other roads are. Up ahead of us, on top of that hill, there's a big satellite dish. Oh, and you know what I see? This hill is the Red Butte. It's hard to tell because from this angle it's just a green hill, and I can see on the very top, I can see the lookout tower. The ranger might be up there right now looking at me like, what the heck is he doing? As long as I don't start any fires, I don't think they mind. This road is okay. Bumpy, but okay. You know, some days you just feel like an adventure, and today's that day for me. Just been feeling a little bored. You know, I've been keeping busy, but I don't know. Just that restless feeling creeps in, I guess, and you got to get out there. And I don't want to do anything that I've done 100 times. And, oh, you know what? I'm going to move this can. It's making a lot of noise. All right. Ooh, this road gets rocky though. Just adds to the adventure, right? Just pray my tires hold up. Ow. Yeah, avoid the really sharp ones. There are a few very pokey looking ones around here. Oh yeah. Oh, it's steep too. Oh, and I think this is a campsite up here. This looks cool. Let's check it out. The road keeps going, but it's kind of rough, and it looks like this might be a campsite. Yeah. Let's get out and take a look. There is nobody back here. It is peaceful. It's pretty. But on the top of, not this hill here, but the hill just next to it, that's the tower. Lookout tower on top of the Red Mountain, or the Red Butte. And this road that Olive is checking out goes up and around this hill, and it probably goes over to that satellite dish, which is over there. And then I have a feeling this is how the ranger must get to the lookout tower, because he doesn't hike that 3.5 mile hike or 4 mile hike, whatever it is, to get up to work every day. This looks like a pretty small campsite, but not big enough for our friend's trip that we're going to do, our friend's camping trip, because there's going to be at least, I think, 3 vehicles, and there's plenty of space for tents, yeah, but not enough space for all the vehicles. But this would be nice. There's just no sign of humans back here. Oh, there's a cow. I was about to say there's signs of cattle ranching, but no cows, or cattle. But there are some right there. That's a cow, that's not a bull. Oh, and there's quite a few of them back here, down this little alley. Hi, guys. We won't bother you. Check out this sign here. Curly Wallace. What the heck is Curly Wallace? Who is Curly Wallace? Bucklar, which I guess that's a town, 13 miles. And Highway 64 is 5 miles. And cows. Curly Wallace cows. Oh. Take a look at the size of that jackrabbit. They're huge. Aren't they, Olive? I had to throw it in reverse so we could take a look. That's not even like a really big one. Oh, here he is. Hi, buddy. Well, I think this is a contender for the larger group to come camping. It's just right off of the main forest road, and there are a couple of little fire rings, although we can't have a campfire. And it's got a really great view of the Red Butte. Yeah, there's another fire ring down here, but look at that view of the mountains in the distance, and a little black olive there. We're out here, you know, looking for campsites, preferably with ones with views, which this one qualifies, but this one has something unusual. Yikes. 4 skulls. That one still has a spine attached. And a pair of marrows. In a decent shape. They've kind of seen better days, but somebody could wear those. Somebody will find them and wear them, probably. I'm actually going to take one of these for Aja. I know that's gross to some of you, but that one has been out in the sun for a long, long time. So I think it's pretty safe to take. And they actually look pretty cool when they're hung up. She already has one from another friend. Maybe she'll want this one too. Well, thank you everybody for coming along on this adventure with us, and hope you enjoyed the abandoned airport, and yeah, we'll be back in this area to camp pretty soon, so we'll take you along with us then too. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.